What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to Powered by Primus in round 3 of our Heroes Rise tournament. We do have John on the left side of the screen running a very awesome mixed list Optimus Prime deck going up against Alex and Thrustlock on the right side. Now, the right side deck, the Thrustlock deck, has insane amount of damage coming out of nowhere using Thrust on your Grimlock to be able to get crazy damage, or even trying to go for massive pierce damage with that arcee you guys do see. Then we're going to go back to the left side of the screen here, and we're going to look at John's deck, and it is Optimus Prime, Warpath, and Acid Storm. This thing is designed to take control of the field, really lock down your opponent, while Battlefield Legend just does what Battlefield Legend stuff does. So these players are shuffling up, and let's get into game number 1. Alright, your players are all shuffled up and rolling die to see who gets to go first. Looks like they're going to be rolling 2 6-sided die. Oh, don't know what that die roll is, fell off the table, but it probably wasn't enough to get done. Even if I guess it would have been a 6, it would have been a draw, but my guess is that John did win the roll. Looks like they are deciding here who gets to go first. Let's start and see who draws 4, and it looks like it is going to be John going first for the turn. No, I honestly don't know who's going first. They both have 3 cards. Okay, looks like Alex is going first. However, he did not draw off the start of the game. He does only have the 3 cards. He is going for a huge hit on the Acid Storm here. Acid Storm does lock down Alex's deck, seeing as how he does have some bold shenanigans in the list, and that Acid Storm says that he doesn't get to do those things. So that is going to be an easy cleanup for Alex, taking out Acid Storm turn 1 there, just really showing off the power of the deck without even playing any upgrades or any actions. He was still able to take out a character with 10 health and flipping 2 double blues on defense. Flipping Optimus Prime, Battlefield Legend there, getting ready to do some awesome things with that character. Looks like they're going back to see if there was any trample damage that did go through. We're looking at 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 damage onto 12, so it looks like one's going to be carrying over, which is what they're now cleaning up. He is going to be putting one onto that Warpath there. Looks like John's going with a leap into battle here on this Optimus Prime Battlefield Legend, throwing him most likely into Grimlock. Going to be flipping a couple of cards there off his ability. Wow, another leap into battle if he does happen to play this one as well, which I don't see why you would not. It should be enough to get the job done. Wow, 14 going into 13 there was a total of 11 damage, leaving Grimlock with 1 health. That 1 blue that Alex did just flip on his side is super, super powerful. Now going for a Ready for Action, which is one of the key cards in this list. It does allow him to untap a character that has 10 or fewer stars, which is actually all of the characters. It sometimes allows you to be able to get a second Grimlock hit, or it does allow you to get a Thrust arcee hit second. Looks like that is, we're going with the bold 3 here onto Grimlock. Just trying to get as much damage as he possibly can onto the Optimus Prime. Playing that Erratic Lightning, giving him +3 attack, -1 armor. At this point, the Grimlock is going to die to pretty much no matter what anything. In addition to that, Warpath does have Pierce on his other mode, so no matter what, like I said, he believe he's going to go down. Flipping 2 Ready for Actions there definitely kind of hurts. He is minusing a lot of damage from his attack. Is going to be able to put some early damage on the Optimus Prime, which is going to be really nice. But Prime is kind of a meat stick in that the guy can take quite a beating. John draws for the turn. Looks like I can see a Noble's Blaster, Vaporize, Handheld Blaster, and I cannot see what that 4th card is out there. I hope he doesn't go for the Vaporize here. It's going to be a really easy KO onto the Grimlock, so I don't think that he needs to waste the Vaporize. Looks like he's going to be flipping Optimus Prime Battlefield Legend, so he's not going with the Pierce plan with the Warpath, looking through to see what he has. Crazy part is he's gone through all 3 Vaporizes already. I can see 2 in a scrap pile there. He's getting back the leap into battle. He looks pretty happy about something there, so not going to be able to flip Warpath for the turn because he did already flip Optimus Prime. Going with the Noble's Blaster there, not a bad play. It does give him 6 attack in that. Okay, well, he's going for a huge attack there. There's 9 attack. Let's see what character he's going into. My guess would be into Thrust at this point, but he might just be finishing off that Grimlock. We'll see what his plan was here. The benefit to him going after Thrust here and kind of leaving that Grimlock is that the Grimlock really won't get to do any damage on the way through, seeing as how arcee gets to go, and then they'll reset, and John will get another swing back at it. So Warpath getting in there for 8 damage, and it looks like, I don't know which character he was going for. We don't have any damage counters out there. Flipping arcee, playing a mounted missile on her and a leap into battle as well, giving it insane pierce damage. That is going to be 3-6 pierce 6. It might be enough to take out this Battlefield Legend here. Oh, got the white battle icon. That will definitely do it, and that will be enough to take out the Battlefield Legend. We do get the straight for the turn. This is where Warpath is going to probably be pretty dead here. I don't know even if he happens to take out the Grimlock for the turn, which would probably be one of the ideal targets. arcee being able to pierce through already 4-3 base with thrust attack will be enough to KO Warpath no matter what blues are flipped in this process. So I'm pretty sure this game is all but wrapped up. That's going to be taking out the Grimlock there. There's no way that Warpath was going to be able to do enough damage to KO arcee, so I guess in that situation, going for the Grimlock was definitely the better of the moves. It's going to be a pretty basic here, just turn sideways for Alex and shipping us into game 2. He already has 1 damage on him, meaning that he only has to get Pierce 5. Alex is going for a little bit of overkill here, playing that, doing some math. Looks like we're already at 3-6, so that's 7-8, Pierce 8. Definitely enough to get it done with the press the advantage, flipping 2 oranges on top of that. And that is going to wrap up game 1, sending us into game number 2. Looks like both players are shuffled up and ready for game number 2. You're going to see it looks like John is going first. This time he does have 4 cards in hand, which is really smart to be able to flip this Acid Storm, which looks like it's what the play he's going to go with here. And being able to shut off that Bold is going to do some pretty nice things. And then throwing Warpath into, I don't know who he's going to go into, but it looks like he is attacking for 4 base here. Getting a blue there for the opponent. Looks like he was going into arcee, not a bad attack. Being able to get some early damage in is pretty nice. Probably one of the only characters he'll actually be able to get damage done to, seeing as how she only has 1 armor. Going with an erratic lightning onto Thrust there, and it looks like we're going to be going for a pretty big size hit, probably going to be enough to take out the Warpath, seeing as how we're looking at, I believe that is 12 damage already base, 13 damage in total, going up against 5 armor. I'm pretty sure that is 8 damage that's going to be able to go through. It's going to be enough to KO there. Sorry, it was 9 damage. It looks like it was enough to KO, also adding 3 damage for Trample, which they are going to put onto the Acid Storm. Going to see what kind of play we're going to go with here. It was really interesting. I think definitely going for the Trample was nice there on the Warpath. I don't know if it was completely necessary also tapping down the Thrust. I personally would have probably been leaving that Thrust back to be able to get a huge arcee hit onto the next character is what your goal is going to be able to be. He's going with a Pep Talk, drawing 2 cards, and then playing a backup beam onto Optimus Prime Battlefield Legend, throwing him back into most likely Grimlock. Getting a white battle icon card there is really nice, being able to flip over a Leap into Battle or possibly a Brainstorm. Let's see what he ends up going with for the play. Forgetting that he added the Bold too. Didn't really change anything as far as the flip goes. Did add a second brainstorm. Looking at his hand, he's got handheld blaster, he's got data pad, and bigger they are. So it looks like he's choosing to proc the brainstorm, which is going to give us access to a vaporize and a bigger they are. Bigger they are isn't going to be able to give him the Pierce 4, but it is going to be able to give him +2 attack, and then Vaporize going to be able to take out that Erratic Lightning, just in case also there is the possibility that he does play a Ready for Action on the Thrust next turn. It is a smart play to be able to go with that. I don't know if playing the Leap into Battle would have been a huge difference, adding only 1 point of damage. I can see a Press the Advantage there and a Bashing Shield. We also do have a Ready for Action in Alex's hand. It is definitely a smart play to have taken out that Erratic Lightning the turn before that could have gotten out of hand. He does play a Force Field onto Arcee, trying to be able to keep her alive. And then there is the Ready for Action onto Grimlock. It would have been really powerful if that would have been on Thrust with that Erratic Lightning. Previous turn would have done an insane amount of pierce damage with Arcee into Prime. Looks like he's going to be attacking here into Prime with a Grimlock. Grimlock's going to be getting in for 8 damage. We are looking at 6 damage, I believe, so far. Oh, 5 damage for Optimus Prime. So that is going to be putting on a couple of damage onto the Grimlock. Looks like John is debating here between the Datapad and the Noble's Blaster. Chooses to go with Datapad onto the Battlefield Legend and playing that Leap into Battle onto Acid Storm. Going to be going into Grimlock, most likely trying to finish him off. He is getting in for a few points of damage there, and let's see what Grimlock ends up flipping. No blues on the defensive side of things, and that is going to be able to take out the Grimlock. Did draw a Scrapper Gauntlets from Alex's side of the board. He's most likely going to be flipping Arcee this turn, playing Press the Advantage and possibly the Scrapper Gauntlets. Scrapper Gauntlets does get to break a weapon, which does get rid of the backup beam there, which is pretty nice. Now they are both armor, so he did have to scrap the Force Field to be able to do that play. Flipping Arcee for the turn, and then there is the Press the Advantage. He is choosing to go into Acid Storm. However, Acid Storm does not have any armor, so it will affect the blue pips that we do see flipped here. So it looks like Arcee is getting in for 2, 3, 4, 5 damage, which is going to be 5 pierce. The blue doesn't even really matter when it does come to against Arcee. However, it did stop those blue flips with that Press the Advantage, but because Arcee does have Pierce for equal whatever her attack is, it doesn't matter what you flip on defense or what your armor is, she always does her exact damage. He is choosing to get that Press the Advantage back. Gonna wait for the reset here, and there's the reset on his side. It is John's turn. He is looking at that Noble's Blaster, which is going to be able to give him +2 attack, and it does also give him Pierce 2 if he does go up against Thrust here. I definitely think that going for Arcee would be the correct placing, as how she's definitely a stronger threat amongst them. Going with that security checkpoint as the play is what it looks like. We did see that he originally only had the Press the Advantage from this flip before, but it does put that double blue back into his scrap pile, allowing him to possibly shuffle it and get it back into his deck. Going in for a huge hit here. Let's see what the flip is. Not getting an action off of the Battlefield Legend definitely kind of sucked, but it was enough damage to get rid of Arcee anyway, which is going to leave just Thrust versus these two. This match looks like it is favored now more for John on John's side of the board. There's only so much that Thrust is going to be able to do to be able to get a hit in here. Can't play that Supercharge is what he's really trying to get in, and Acid Storm is definitely shutting down that bold on that side of the table. This is where the card or the character definitely comes into handy, really locking down some bold effects. So attacking for just 5, getting a blue and a blank there definitely sucks. Prime is going to be at 4 for that armor there, only taking 1 damage. John looks like he's resetting for the turn, but he still has to attack with Acid Storm. It looks like he's going to see that here. Alex does definitely set him up for it. Acid Storm is going to be full attacking in here. I thought he was going to go for a flip there to possibly heal for it. I don't think it really matters that much. He is flipping Optimus Prime before this attack does go through. You always want to try to do that before you end up declaring your attacks, but obviously these players are both very sportsmanlike and they are totally okay with it. Looks like he is digging. Let's see what he's going to go for. We see a last breath right there. He does have some marksmans. Possibly another leap into battle or a pep talk. Looks like he chose to bring back the security checkpoint. Couldn't quite see what he did have going in there. But Acid Storm is going to attack in there. It is going to get a couple of damage off because Thrust in that mode only has 1 armor versus his other mode having 3 armor. Going with her grenade launcher onto Thrust, and again, that supercharge is just really still being locked down. Nothing that he's going to be able to do about it. The press advantage as well doesn't do anything. It could give him the possible -2 armor, but looks like he's just getting in for the basic grenade launcher attack. That is going to be giving him quite a bit of damage. I'm not quite sure how that math worked out there. I'm pretty sure that the Thrust was getting in for 11 damage, and only being able to flip 2 blue should have put 6 damage on the Prime, taking him to 10. All right, putting those cards off to the side there. And I'm not quite sure about how that sequence went. Looks like he's flipping Optimus Prime for the turn, being able to get as bunch of damage as he possibly can, playing an inverted, getting rid of the data pad, and also playing Leap into Battle on him is going to be getting in for a crazy a bit of damage. We're looking at 8, 10, 13, 14 damage in total there, and that should be enough to wrap up game number 2 and sending us into game number 3.